Okay, so this is an overview of the progress so far on my final project. As you can see, I've put some work into the exterior of the project. Um, Obviously, lighting is still needing to be worked on, but that's going to be sort of a final end thing. A lot of the models are still placeholders, and even the models that are final haven't got their sort of complete final textures. But you can get a good idea so far. So the player can basically fly around the scene however they want. You pick up souls, which have a small amount of an AI, so they actually, once you fall inside their collider, they do come to you and you're absorbed into you. And hopefully you saw the change in colour there. The character has no emissive colour. When they collect a soul, they actually light up, and I will activate a particle effect so that they know they have power. And the power up is a blast ability, and these doors would actually open the other way as they're blasted open. Again, there'll be a sort of a light blast particle effect, a sphere around the player, which basically will force doors open and use to remove the enemies. And again, so you come into the room, you can see we've got quite a lot of models in here that need the final textures applying. But good progress. The lighting I would prefer to be much more subdued and subtle, so I've got to work on that a little bit. And then the idea is, with this mechanic of picking up the souls and opening the door, each time the player will get a little more of the story in each room they go into, and the door is the sort of thing that slows the player down, allows them to experience each piece of audio that plays. Every time they pick up a soul, there'll be an extra bit of story audio that plays and adds. When we come into this room, you can see I've got some reasonable models going on in here, and still need some final texturing and a lot more work added to the bar to make it more realistic and believable. This big thing in front of us is representing the darkness, or the enemy in the game. Obviously nowhere near a final piece, but it's just to give a representation. This will have sort of particle effects and be black and glowing, and it may end up being a much smaller thing that's a more AI that's kind of just always blocking your path. And again, you have to use the blast to remove it. So once a player, again, you see there the emissive increases and the player will be sparkling, so they know that now I've gone back to dark, I haven't got the power now. So again, you're going to have to pick up these souls to build that power. The blast will of course have a nice particle effect and light to show the destruction of the darkness. And the darkness of course will have a kind of death, destruction, particle blast as well. So yeah, so far progress is quite good. I've got models in this room as well. Obviously still need some texturing there and lighting to be worked on, but all in all it's starting to come together. The mechanics are pretty much set in. Obviously stuff like the movement needs tweaking just to make feel much nicer and smoother. Yeah, but so far so good. So if there's any feedback, please let me know. Thank you.